Good evening. My name is Warren Wheatdon. I'm the District 7 legislator. We're going to begin our webinar this evening for the KCOA and their capital improvements projects. So want to welcome those that are going to be watching this on our live channel or our YouTube channel. Some ground rules for our webinars, as we've done this in the past. Our panelists are going to be the only ones talking for this webinar, myself and then including our guest. They're all going to kind of give us some information on the KCOA, the capital improvements that are going to be proposed to the Kiowa Casino. If any of the citizens that might log in to this information, you can use the question and answer box at the bottom. We won't be able to see how many participants there are. We only see the 3 panelists that are joining tonight's session. So if you have a question, you want to submit it in the Q&A box, just type your question in and we can see it as it comes through on the Q&A box, and we'll be glad to share your question along with the presenters tonight. So we're going to go for however long the presentation may last. So let the presenters kind of give the presentation. At the end, we'll come in and ask questions for the Q&A section. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So give me just a second. I'm going to turn my camera to my left and we'll get it set up for the presenters.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. My name is Coy McLemore, and I have the privilege of serving as your Chief Construction and Facilities Officer at Kiowa Casino and Hotel. I'm here today with my co-workers, the CEO, Mr. Bob Dimmick, and Darius McGee, the COO, General Manager of Duval. We're here tonight to discuss something that has the potential to be a game changer for the community. Our proposed expansion of Kiowa Casino and Hotel. This project represents not just growth, but the opportunity to create more jobs, bring in new visitors, and strengthen the economic future for our tribe. First, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Bob Dimmick, our CEO, to introduce himself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Dimmick. I've had the honor of being the CEO for Kiowa Casino Properties for a little over 20 months. I am not Kiowa, but in my career, I spent 5 years as the CEO at the Pawnee Nation. I've worked with the Muskogee Creek Nation. I've also been with the Tachioca tribe out in Lemoore, California, and with the Pueblo of Sandia in New Mexico. I'm honored to be your CEO. I get to work with 2 fine young Kiowa citizens in Coy McLemore and Darius McGee, and I assure all the Kiowa people that your future is in good hands with these gentlemen working for you. Their hearts are in the right place.
Thank you, Bob. And Darius McGee, the COO, General Manager of Duval.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, District 7, for inviting us to this town hall meeting discussion. I'm just happy to be here, happy to be part of the Kiowa tribe, and also my background. I am Kiowa. My family's Polity and Tonkame family, so I'm very proud to be working for my people. My background is casinos. I pretty much worked in gaming since I was 18 years old. So about when you look at the gaming timeline for me, it's about 22 plus years. I primarily worked with the Muskogee Nation for about almost 20 years, and now working for the Kiowa KCOA, and it's almost going on to 4 years. And we're just here to share some insight on our growth right now and how our future will be at the hotel, and just future things that we want to do to provide more back to the tribe. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. And give a little background on myself. My name again is Coy McLemore. I am Kiowa. My family is the Haintal family, the Tenadals, Dogmaws, the Wares, the Saperhoodles. That is where I come from. My grandfather was the late Pat Haintal. and Maddie Dogamaw Hinkle. My mother was the late Tuts, Arlene Tuts McLemore. So it's a pleasure to be here today with you all, and we are going to be presenting a hotel expansion project that we have been working on. And I know that that this is something that has been long researched. We've looked at all kinds of avenues, different angles to this. So we can come up with this presentation to present to the Kiowa people. With that, I also know that there are concerns, and I want to address them head on. We've seen how discussions at the federal level can impact tribes. Time and time again, politicians have made choices that ignore or even harm Indian country. That's why we must be proactive. We must protect our sovereignty, our funding, and our future. And while federal decisions can be frustrating, they also present opportunities. A stronger economy means more customer spending, more revenue for our casino, and more money flowing back to our people. If we don't move forward, we fall behind. Other tribes are expanding, just like the Comanche tribe, which recently approved a $250 million expansion. If we stand still, we risk losing business, jobs, and the ability to provide for our people. This hotel expansion isn't about politics. It's about smart business. It's about staying competitive, growing stronger, and making sure Kiowa Casino remains successful for years to come. Tonight, we'll walk you through the details of this expansion, hear from us on the design and the layout and what that means for the future of the Kiowa Casino. Most importantly, we want your feedback. Let's dive in. To start, I would like to introduce to you Bob, who will share more about this project and why it's so important for our future.
In order to kick off this project, we researched the market very thoroughly. We conducted two primary pieces of research: a hotel demand analysis in April of 2024, and a Kiowa casino gaming market definition and hotel expansion impact study in May of 2024. The research evaluated the Kiowa casino and its casino market, primarily the Duval market, in terms of full year gross gaming revenue. The results of the Kiowa player database and other demand-based modeling techniques are used to forecast potential gross gaming revenue based on population demographics, gambling penetration, propensity to gamble, and the expected impacts of the competition in the region. In addition, based on our field research in the area, we layered on additional sources of gross gaming revenue, such as on-property hotels in the area, those hotels in Wichita Falls and in Lawton, and patronage from highway traffic intersect, those people who will get off exits 1 and 5 on I-44 to come visit us. The results of the research were these: that based on our research for this project and other gaming related projects in the area, the conclusion is that Duval, Oklahoma casino gaming will continue to be the primary driver for the area. That is, that the casino gaming properties will be driving most of the tourism and most of the traffic into the area. We project the Duval, Oklahoma casino gaming market will grow generally equal to or faster than other U.S. casino gaming markets. This is a positive for hotel properties in the region, as continued growth should allow for incremental visitation and not discourage new hotels or additional rooms in the market. The strengths of the Duval market are these: extensive tourism base from gaming provides a large exposure base. We have a lot of people coming through Duval right now to play at the properties that are active. Excuse me. The hotel market is growing again in Duval and Lawton. We have an excellent location located at exit 1 on Interstate 44. and we have high visibility frontage to a high traffic roadway. People can see us from I-44 and know what we are. Oklahoma tourism trade groups that focus on increasing tourist visit are pulling people from Texas north right past our door. The weaknesses, with every strength there is a weakness in the Duval market, is that despite the benefit of casino gaming with its resort style amenities, it's the only driver in the area. There are no theaters, there are no attractions. Consumers in the target markets of Wichita Falls and Lawton are very price sensitive. The region's hotel supply is not adequate for attracting larger attractions, consumer trade shows, and concerts, leaving the possibility of filling a hotel squarely on property management. In short, without any amenities for players, the gaming facilities are going to have to fill the hotels just based on the strength of their gaming. The Duval area is not a well-known tourism brand outside the local trade region, and increasing wage pressure is making employment hires challenging. We recruit most of our employees from a very wide area going into Texas and north towards Lawton. We don't have an awful lot of local employees. Other findings of our research were the existing gaming facilities in Duval Market, Comanche Red River, Apache Lone Star, Comanche War Pony, the Comanche Travel Plaza, have overlapping primary, secondary, and tertiary market areas. In short, virtually every property in the immediate trade area of Duval competes directly for many, if not all, of the same customers. Other research findings, with the addition of Apache Lone Star, which opened in April of 2024, the Duval market in terms of gaming devices is now larger than the Lawton, Oklahoma market. Kiowa Casino has been steadily growing gaming revenues annually. Using 2019 as our benchmark for prior results, Kiowa has grown gross gaming revenue by 25%. In 2019, our gross gaming revenue was $59.6 million. In 2023, our gross gaming revenues rose to $74.4 million. The summary of our findings are these. Kiowa Casino has performed equal to and even better than most of our regional comparisons. On a yearly basis, Kiowa has outperformed the Oklahoma City NIGC region by a strong margin. The National Indian Gaming Commission divides Oklahoma into two distinct regions. One is Tulsa, one is Oklahoma City. We are part of the Oklahoma City region. In 2022, Kiowa grew by 9% compared to the NIGC Oklahoma City region, which only grew 4%. In 2023, Kiowa grew by 10% to the Oklahoma City region's NIGC 5%. The existing Kiowa hotel is outpacing its peer market in growth for our reviewed hotel comparison. Currently, there are 34 properties with 2,754 rooms in Duval, and actually in Lawton and in Wichita Falls. Kiowa hotel occupancy is generally 80%, which is dramatically higher than its peers in the marketplace, which have occupancy of 60%. Kiowa Casino and Hotels occupancy percentage is at 80%. That's because most of our weekends we are 100% full and turning people away. Our midweek numbers are lower. That's what brings our average down to 80% rather than 100. The peer properties in the area average 60%. However, occupancy at Kiowa for the last 3 years has been flat. This indicates that we are capacity strained, and we have lots of room to grow. Kiowa management keeps track of weekend turnaway customers because the hotel is 100% occupied on the weekends. The result of that is that between 60 and 75 rooms over a weekend, 20 to 25 per night, are denied to our best customers due to being sold out. We turn away over a given weekend anywhere from 80 to 100 customers because we are sold out. The Kiowa Hotel has increased its revenue without adding additional rooms. However, due to its room count, Kiowa's ability to service drive-in and overnight players across a large trade region is maxed out. The average hotel in the market has 77 to 78 rooms, while Kiowa has been currently operating with only 63 rooms. With the proposed 80-room expansion, Kiowa will be at 143 rooms. Fortunately for Oklahoma casinos that draw heavily from the Texas market, competition from legalized gaming in Texas appears to be years away from legislative improvements, much less implementation. Our conclusions from all of our research are these. We expect a hotel expansion at Kiowa Casino to generate $6.7 million in additional gross gaming win and $1.3 million in cash revenue from our food and beverage venues and our gift shop and other amenities. Using an 80% margin, that is taking 80% of the overall gross gaming revenue and trying to have a safe number, using 80% margin to discount the gross gaming, which win equates to a win net margin of $5.3 million. On a monthly basis, the revenue associated with the expansion generates a cash flow of $550,000. Based on this research in May of 2024, if we had made a $24 million investment in our hotel to expand and applied all of our incremental revenues to paying back the loan, we would have been able to pay back a loan in 44 months. Now, we can't predict what the financial situation is going to be when we go out to buy money for the future, but by using different methods, talking to different banks, we can guarantee the Kiowa people that we will get the best rate, and taking the additional gaming revenue of $6.7 million a month, a year, excuse me, we can still pay off a note even on a larger project in under 5 years.
That is awesome. And I want to elaborate on what he said about the hotel we have currently. If you remember him stating, every weekend we are sold out. We're turning people away. So this is something that we have looked at for several months, and we've come up with a design that we're going to be turning on here in just a little bit to show the public. And with that, I will go ahead and turn over to Darius to give some more information.
Yeah, so thank you, Clint. So as the operation officer for the Kiowa properties, one of our main goals is always to make certain our employees, our frontline staff, are focused on the guests. We incorporated a program called the Pulse of Kiowa. It's a program that's actually held accountable from the top down, meaning us three to the front staff. So it's just a program to initiate a way to engage with our players. During market research and analysis and surveys, we actually analyze that to see where they're, based on our player database, why they choose Kiowa. And a lot of it is because of our customer service. So it's a great program. It's an initiative to get engaged with the guests, whether you're back at house, meaning like you're cleaning a room, or you're front of house checking a guest in. We want to make certain that people are safe. And I believe they choose Kiowa because we do have a hotel at a smaller scale. And like Coy has mentioned and Bob has mentioned, we're just turning people away. Now we're, you know, I'm going back to the KCOA and saying like we're turning 20 people away per weekend. And that's a lot of money that we just leave on the table and they're going elsewhere, you know, probably going to Windstar or other places in the market. But growing this market for the hotel is really going to help us grow the revenue back to the tribe and also and just improve more for the future. We're looking at, you know, convention space, swimming pool areas. I believe there'll be some displays shared where you can visually see the concept of what we visualize to grow there at the Kiowa Red River Duval. But you know, with 400 employees, that's a lot of undertaking to make certain that we're all going towards the same goals. So I'm proud that we're able to do that. We do promote that every day. I'm held accountable, just like a front line. So we got to always turn it on for our guests, and I believe we do that. We have currently we have about 50 out of the 400 that are Kiowa enrolled. We always want to promote more Kiowa. I know the location for Duval is very far. It's far away from the population where most Kiowas live, but you know we really want to promote that. We're opening up a new casino in Hobart, and currently we have our Carnegie, but we're always willing to look for every talent that's around the area, just make our place the chosen place in the area. So Southwest, I believe the Kiowas do dominate it now. We just got to keep that going.
Oh, I wonder if you would go ahead and bring up that slide.
Okay.
And we will go through these slides and show what we have done and what we look to accomplish here. So once we get that shared, then we'll start going through the
Live.
Okay, so there you see the hotel expansion. To the right is the old casino, our old hotel right in front of the teepee. And then to the left of the teepee is the new expansion. Now, I wonder if you would hover your mouse over the very far back of the drawing there. You'll see a large building, that building to the left, right there. That right there hasn't been talked about much, and that is a event center that we're going to put there at Kiowa Casino. And that event center will hold approximately 2,000 people. It'll be a concert style event center. We can hold powwows and even concerts. So that is something that is not in the region. That is nothing that, you know, no casinos in the area have this. This will be the first. So we're excited about that. Also, we want to put some native design up front. Again, this is a concept. This isn't the final drawing. This is a concept. This is what we worked through, what we think would work best for Kiowa Casino there in Duval. We worked through the flow, what would be easier for the player. So we did a lot of research when we did this design to make sure that we got the best at the best price as well. So if you would go ahead and go to the next slide there, Warren, and we'll continue on with the presentation. This is the backside. This is looking from the south to the north. And as you see, there is a swimming pool there. And that was one of the main attractions I know that everybody talked about whenever we did discuss something about an expansion. The first thing that came to them was they want a swimming pool. So we are going to accommodate with them with swimming pools. Again, this is approximately 80 rooms. And I think there's let's see, there's going to be some suites on this as well, correct?
Yes, patio suites.
Patio suites on this. So that's something that's new coming as well, because what we have today is just your basic 63 suites that are the same. This one will come with actual king suites and king suites that will work along the bottom there with the pool. So with that, also we'll go to the next slide there. Here, this is when you're driving in to the casino, the main entrance. This is what you're going to see. This is just a design that we came up with. I know that, you know, we try to put our native touch on there. I know there's just a teepee there for now, but again, this is a concept. We could be adding other things as well to this design once we get approved for this. So this is again, this is the front area of the hotel. Go ahead and go to the next one. This is just a night version of the same thing whenever you're going in. Again, it looks like this is going to, okay, yeah, this is the drive as you're driving in.
It's the hotel drive.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and go to the next one. This is the porte cochere to the hotel. This We wanted to make sure it was big enough for at least 2 vehicles to come through there, so we can go get some through traffic going. And we wanted to make sure that it was adequate enough for the amount of rooms we do have to accommodate. So we wanted to make sure we had a large porta cashier for this hotel expansion to welcome all of our guests. And this is the back version here. If you can see there, there's a swimming pool, and to the top right there, you'll see a bar. That bar actually is a double function bar. And what happens is that one person can work that bar both inside the hotel and outside the hotel. So there's a door they can swing through to accommodate the guests. So that's an added feature as well. To the left there is some seating area, and then there's some meeting rooms that we'll look at here in just a minute, or that building there that is right by the event center. So if you're going to go to the next slide there. Okay, so yeah, now you're looking back. There is some seating again to the left. If you look straight ahead through, you'll see another building in front of the event center. This is a large conference to where we can hold conferences within our hotel, get that abilities to these companies that want to come in, put on some conferences. These are some rooms that will allow that to happen. Obviously, we'll use them as well for teaching, putting on events as well. So that is added attraction as well.
The pre-conference and conference area, along with the event center, is something unique to the area right now. Not unique to the world, but unique to Duval and Wichita Falls. It gives us a chance to provide a nice resort area for everyone to be able to hold meetings for small to large companies in the area. And also to do events such as Coy mentioned, concerts and powwows. We can also hold large conventions and do things like boxing and mixed martial arts and beauty pageants. It just gives us a real calling card and a way to put our Kiowa brand on the area. We enjoy the #1 market share in the area now, and this will just ensure this for the future.
Is that all for the presentation?
Yes, that is the presentation of it. Again, my understanding is this will be online on YouTube as well. Is that my understanding? Warren?
Yep,
All
we're
right.
recording it right now.
All right, in closing, I appreciate everyone being here tonight and taking the time to be part of this important conversation. This expansion is about all of us, and your input matters. We also need to remember how far we've came. When this casino was first built, we had to take out a loan that wasn't in our favor. Many of you remember the Luna loan. That loan put a financial strain on us for years, but we're not in that position anymore. We built a strong financial reputation, and today we have access to better interest rates, structured payments, and reasonable credit terms. This expansion is not a risk. It's a strategic investment. We are leveraging our strengths, not repeating past mistakes. The bottom line is this: we are in control of our financial future. The condition that made past loans difficult no longer apply. The growth of our casino isn't possible. It's necessary for long-term success. Let's focus on where we are today, not where we came from the past. That's how we move forward. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. We will now take some questions. Thank you.
Okay, so question number 1, I'm going to ask it just like looking at the pictures. Well, the first question was, will that teepee have long poles?
Oh,
Like
yes.
the Kiowa teepee looks
We
like.
always have long poles, yes.
Longer poles than you see some of these teepees that look high gang.
Yeah.
So question is, I guess a lot of our citizens take great pride in the artwork that's at the casino currently. Sherman Chattlesom's logo or seal that we use for the Kiowa Casino. Very proud of that. I guess the question is there any way we can get more of a Kiowa flair to the pool area, concert area, to where it kind of looks like, I know personally, I like the lights in the hallways that look like a teepee.
Right. I know what you're talking about
And
too.
my wife and I remarked on, somebody took a lot of time to think about how we're gonna make this look like a Kiowa hotel. And so is that something we're gonna see a little bit of in the design, or do we still have time to do that?
Yes, this is just the first step of the design.
Okay.
We have talked to the architects and they actually have showed us several examples of how we can incorporate more Kiowa design, more Kiowa art, more Kiowa history into the building. And they are very cognizant that the three of us have almost demanded that be a part of the future, but
Yes.
I think that the Kiowa nation will be very proud of the finished product.
Okay, can you restate again how many rooms we're adding to the new hotel expansion?
Yeah, in the new expansion, we plan on adding 80 rooms, plus the event center and the conference center and the swimming.
And a weight room.
And a weight
Or
room?
just an exercise.
Yeah, exercise room, whatever. Yeah, everybody keeps asking that.
Okay, in state, like, what is this gonna cost the Kiowa people? Like, what is the overall number that they're asking for? Like, what are we looking?
We are looking for a project with a $35 million price tag.
Mhm.
How much we borrow or how much we don't have to borrow, we haven't determined yet. We can still put, for example, in Hobart, when we made the loan, we got a $9 million CD for the $9 million loan.
Mhm.
And by having that CD, we earned in the first year $360,000 worth of interest on the CD.
Mhm.
So if you look at what we borrowed on the loan, we paid an interest rate that was less than 2%, 1.25%. It just depends on how we put the financing together. We can put so much down, we can buy a CD, we can take the interest off the CD. Or if we just go out and borrow $35 million, we're gonna pay a higher interest rate. We just have to figure out how we're gonna do it.
And what the resolution that was presented to the KIC was a $35 million resolution.
Was a $35 million total resolution language. That's what they're asking the Kiowa people for to approve. Okay. Question. Why do we need to invest in our hotel versus having a per cap?
I'll take that, because
Okay.
I'm the only non-Kiowa in
Okay.
the room, so I guess I'm brave. You know, there are a lot of dreams and there are a lot of things that the Kiowa people want and the Kiowa people deserve. Right now, the primary and perhaps the only source of income revenue to the tribe is through the casino
At Duval.
and Duval. We have a huge opportunity to be able to grow the property to bring in additional revenues. And once we pay off this note, we will have additional revenues to send to the tribe so that some of the rest of the dreams can be realized. The KCOA has been working with Chairman Spottenberg and with the legislature for the budget for next year. And we are growing our distribution to the tribe from $6 million a year that we presently pay to $9 million a year. So our monthly contribution will grow from $500,000 a month to $750,000 a month, plus what we pay in taxes, plus what we pay in lease payments to the tribe. So these additional monies should help the legislature with the budgeting and contributing back to the Kiowa people. With this new property, we will be able to contribute a lot more back to the tribe. Coy, as the Chief Construction and Facilities Officer, has been saddled with doing an awful lot of capital improvement to the existing property. Maybe Coy, you'd like to talk about that.
Sure, yeah, we have, since I've been there for the 2 years that I have been there at Kiowa Casino, I hit the ground running. There were several things that we looked at the casino, and this casino at Duval is 17 years old, and there was some minimal upkeep to it. However, what we like to refer to in-house as our mothership, which is Duval, is dilapidated, and there are some things that need to be done. Like one of the things we're working on now that's coming to fruition is a new HVAC system in there. That HVAC system was $4.3 million to get that done. Those air conditioners were 17 years old. They were outlived their worthy, and we needed to get those replaced. So we did that. There are our admin office. Whenever the ball was built, there was an administrative office put in the back when they broke ground. They worked out of that same building today. It's just pitiful. It's caught on. There's rats, mice. The floor's falling in. We didn't want to invite anybody there, so we went and we got another building. That was $2 million to get that done. We're still in the process of that. So there's a lot of projects that are going on that we're taking care of, not to include Hobart. I mean, I'm having to deal with Hobart too, that build that's coming along great. We're within budget. We're about on payments, we're approximately 48% complete, 49% complete on payments. And again, we don't pay anything unless it's a pay application work verified completed. And completion, we're up to 79 or 89 or 79% complete on the bill. So the payments usually are behind the bill just so we can verify whenever they submit their invoices for payment. So that's where I've been since I've been here for 2 years, is dealing with a lot of dealing with a lot of infrastructure issues with Duval, and obviously building Hobart.
Okay, our next question is, what's the status? I think we've covered this in several meetings, but what's the status of the loan on Duval? My understanding that was paid off.
Yeah, the loan on Duval has been 100% paid.
Totally paid off. So that's our moneymaker for the tribe.
Yes.
That's what we've been operating.
Yes.
Somebody just asked that, one of the status, just to hear from you all. Where do Kiowa citizens access your presentation? Is it posted online? Is there a website they can go to if they want to see it, or is that something maybe?
So what we're doing as an executive team is that we are actually going to each district to give a presentation, because we don't want to just put it out there like on a video. We want to be able to interact with our people. We want to answer those questions in person. So we're visiting every district, doing the best we can to get our information out and interacting with our people.
Okay, so for this YouTube, if they watch the YouTube, they'll get a lot of information on what we're currently doing. And any follow-up questions, if they have a follow-up question, who do they contact?
They can contact either myself, Darius, or Bob. We'll definitely provide our contact information for this.
If you would, we'll just put your email, maybe
Sure.
add your email into the YouTube description so that we make sure we get that asked. Oh, that was the question. Sorry. I thought it was just how do we get people information on who to contact. So you mentioned you just had the building's old, and it really needs improvements.
Yes.
And you just mentioned the HVAC system, right?
Right.
About how much did that cost to repair?
$4.3 million.
4.3 million to replace the HVAC system in the casino.
Just the casino alone, not the hotel. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of like capital improvements, I mean, it needs those improvements in order to maintain competitive with our competitors.
Yeah.
What have we seen any impact to our casino revenue with the new casino, Red River down the road yet? Right?
Yeah, we have. And
what is the impact been so far?
I think the impact has been at our property, we're down about 7% in revenue.
Mhm.
We're still very profitable, but it's down. We did an impact study before actually Lone Star opened up.
Lone Star,
Yeah. And we felt that we could lose as much as $13 million in revenue with them. Our performance so far has been better than our worst case scenario. So we're doing quite well. We're still making about $1.5 million to $2 million a month and making all these improvements. Our business was affected, our traffic our traffic is down. But not as far down as others in the area.
Mhm.
So we maintained a good market share, but there was an impact. We just couldn't open up another casino with 600 games down the street without it having an impact on us.
Mhm.
Part of the capital improvements that we made to the property were based on that casino going in. If you came to Kiowa Duval in the summertime when it's 105, 106 outside, we have sections of our casino that were actually too warm. They would, our customers didn't want to play there because they were so warm. So we had to go back and replace the system to make our venue conducive to the people who wanted to come play.
Mhm. Okay.
And other projects we're making on the building as well. One thing that's gonna be coming up in the near future also is we're gonna put a new floor in the casino as well. That's gonna be a large project we're gonna do down the line, but that is something we are looking at. That's another capital improvement we're gonna have to do.
Floor and carpet.
Floor and carpet, yes.
I mean, just to add on to from just the slots perspective, you know, we understand that we're saturated in the area. And a lot of the slot machines are the same as the casinos, but we strive, we're pretty proud of ourselves because we do get more exclusivity based on new titles, based on popularity of games. And they choose like our vendors because we make them money. They choose us to choose, you know, when new improved games come out. So we're very excited about those things. We got to keep that momentum going. But going back to the property, you know, we've had exterior lights that were just horrible. I mean, they're blotchy and we fixed them finally, and you can see it from the highway. It's beautiful. So it gives a silhouette at nighttime. It's very dark because, you know, we're on, you know, middle of nowhere, but it's right on that. But it's very nice, and we take pride of that. We change the colors to kind of follow the themes and everything. It really puts the spotlight for Kiowa.
Yes, it does. I can only say that we're probably the brightest in the area, and you probably see us from the plane. I mean, that's how bright we are. It is very exciting when we got that light project done to enhance our property.
So just a quick synopsis, you know, and I think some of our tribe members have a hard time understanding the different entities that oversee the casino. Could you just give us a quick synopsis of what each entity does? I'm talking about KCOA, Gaming Commission, because I think our citizens, they're not gaming experts.
Right.
All they see is, you know, they get services and or we pray one day, way down the line, we'll get a check and some sort of per cap payment, but they have a hard time understanding the different entities that oversee our casino operations. So could you kind of give us a synopsis of the players that kind of oversee our gaming enterprise?
Well, we are employees of the KCOA.
Okay.
The KCOA is a direct line report into the executive branch of the government. We are regulated by the Kiowa Gaming Commission, also a report into the executive branch with some oversight from the legislature.
Mhm.
So we are the operators, the Gaming Commission is the regulators, and the KCOA board that we report to, they have the fiscal responsibility to make sure that we're performing within budgets, that we're performing within responsibly, and that we're doing the two things that Chairman Spotted always reminds us of what our mission is. We are to create jobs primarily for Kiowa citizens, and we are to generate revenue for the Kiowa tribe. Those are the 2 points of our mission statement.
The follow-up question to that, thank you for that. That kind of helps with people who are listening in for the first time. They don't understand, you know, how our casino operates, you know, who's operating it, who's got fiscal responsibility, you know, who's got oversight, regulatory oversight. So thank you for answering that. But how many Kiowa citizens does a casino employ?
Currently, there's 50 employee. Most of the Kiowas are employed at Carnegie. That's where most of the Kiowas work, and we plan on hiring more Kiowas when we grow the Elk Creek. But right now there's 50 employees on Kiowa, Boys Kiowa. We have directors, 3 Kiowas that are on a higher level that are enrolled, and they are very talented people. So we always want to initiate our Kiowa programs, leadership programs, and, you know, just a phone call. I just want a phone call. Sometimes I get a phone call and if you're Kiowa, I want to walk them through the steps. So I'm always open to look for Kiowa talent that's interested in casino.
In terms of technology, does the casino need technology improvements as well, part of the capital improvements?
So there are some areas of improvement that is needed within the casino itself. Yes, we are working on that. We do have an IT director that we work with hand in hand that comes with us with issues or even new adventures. And I know that, you know, when we work on the when we go to the race 4 project and new carpet, I know we'll probably make some changes visually and with the sound there as well. So, you know, the technology portion, I know within the gaming portion, there's always updates going on there.
And I think for the most part, we stay compliant. You know, there's the ABRA laws and the gaming commission. We keep our ear to the cyber threats. You know, we feel confident that we want to stay up to date as much as possible with our technology. Of course, it's always evolving, so it costs money.
Sure.
And we try to do our best to stay on top of that. And we can always, like Coy said, we're always looking at ways to improve, like the gaming floor, making our floor a lot easier and efficient, and that involves technology. And you know, we're always working on our technology every day.
And you don't really want to give away all of your secrets with your
Sure,
technology.
absolutely.
There are some areas of our property where we really excel.
Hmm.
And you quietly want people to know if they come to Kiowa Casino in Duval, they're coming to a safe place that does have the technology to help protect people from active shooters,
Mhm.
from any kind of illicit dealings on the floor or in the parking lot. Again, without revealing all of our technology, we have a safe property that is very secure for our customers.
Yes, that is correct. And you know, I know Richard has been talking in reference to our presentations. He'll talk before and he'll assist at answering questions. And one thing Richard being our chairman of KCOA,
Mhm.
is that with, you know, the different entities within the tribe, to include the casino, with the executive team for the casino, the KCOA, the gaming commission, and the executive team of the legislative. This is the first time in a long time that we collaborate together as a team and that we work best for the tribe. So that is something that I'm proud of, that we do have that communications available for not only just the KCOA, but the legislators and the tribe itself.
What do you think what do you think the impact will be on the casino if the capital improvements are not approved?
Losing revenue.
Losing money.
Yes.
Yeah, we just don't grow, and we leave an opportunity. We're very competitive. We're business people. We want to be first to market, and we want to take advantage of that.
I mean, the history of where I came from, you know, for it to be a bingo hall into a mid-sized casino and to see where River Spirit is today, 500 plus room hotel, more amenities for the resorts, and it's just nice to see where if you grow, you can do more for your nation or your tribes, and there's social services programs. I've seen how they grow, and I believe Kiowa still has some potential on the gaming side to grow that, hopefully more on the for other Kiowa programs and such.
Somebody asked a question, what about a golf course?
You need land.
Yeah.
I think the question was, most people go visit casinos want to go to a golf course.
Yes.
Like, I think he's equated to like a Hard Rock,
Right.
WinStar. Is that something we might look at for the future?
Oh, yes.
As we strategic plan,
Mhm.
nothing is off the table.
Sure.
I mean, I've talked with Brunswick people about bowling alleys and duck pins. We look at golf suites. We're looking at the concept of an RV park, of a truck plaza. A lot of it is tied to land, but a lot of these dreams don't come true unless we are better business people and we generate more revenue support.
Sure.
Yes,
What we do with
elaborate on that even more is that we're also not just we're not just concentrated on the ball. We know we have other properties out there. We know we have other opportunities out there. And we're looking at all the opportunities we have available for us. So we're not just stuck within the Duval or the Hobart or the Carnegie area. We know how wide the Kiowa reservation is. We know what we can look at. We are actively looking all the time.
So from a legislative, that's my question. We, as a legislature, we have worked on developing a new Kiowa Gaming Commission ordinance. I guess this is related to the casino, but I think people need to know, and we're gonna have a public hearing over it once we get it back from the National and Gaming Commission legal review, whatever you want to call it. But what are some major changes that need to happen in that ordinance to help the casino make more money?
Well, in part, our competitors, within a half mile of our front door, allow 18-year-olds to game. We have a threshold at 21, and Darius and I speak all the time about our employment areas. We cannot employ people who are under the age of 21, and we have a lot of teens and young people who want to work for us, and we're unable to give them jobs, and a lot of young Kiowa citizens. The rest of the gaming ordinance, I'm trying to think of what.
Well, I read it, we read it, I mean, there's just, it's outdated. I mean.
The current one.
The current one, yes, 2012, and I think it reflects the KDC.
It does.
And different language that's not even relative.
Relevant.
To our new constitution, so that's just there, I mean, it just needs to be refreshed.
And a lot of regulatory refreshments need to be added to that as well. That's what they're going over.
Okay.
But the main thing is the 18. We definitely need under 21
Clientele.
That will bring in more revenue. And the big thing about, and I'll say this, and that hasn't been talked about, but I know in the area we talk about all the time is our steakhouse is #1 in the area. So I know everybody talks about how good our steaks are there at Red River, and we want to invite everybody out there to have that steakhouse.
Well, we were about 15 minutes into our webinar. We've got some questions answered. This is a beginning.
Yes.
I'd like to invite you back. Maybe we, do another webinar in the future. Just to kind of have this is a start. We're going to send this out via email to our citizens. They can watch it at their leisure.
Sure.
Listen in. They'll probably develop their own questions, and for the next one, be expecting to get more feedback and questions on it. But
And our email will be on the YouTube, so. if
yeah,
they wanna
we'll
email
put
us.
your email on the YouTube description so people can contact you if they have specific questions, just to follow up. So, but typically our webinars, we keep them about an hour long,
Okay.
just because people lose interest.
Right. Very much.
About
so,
50
yeah.
minutes, 45 minutes into the webinar, people are sawing logs. So thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
making the trip all the way up to
Thank you.
Tulsa. And we'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera back. Yeah. We'll go ahead and we're gonna post this webinar to our District 7 YouTube channel. If you'd like to listen to the full webinar this evening. Also, you can email us with any questions that you want to get to the KCO or the executive team for the casino. So we can get those questions sent to them and they can get you a response back. But thank you all for listening in this evening. We'll see you next time at our next monthly service webinar. I hope.